Welcome to Nkosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Welcome to Nkosi Talk Shows. Over to you, Claudia. Please introduce yourself to our audience. You are muted.
Actually, it's true. Just because you say always mute yourself before. Absolutely. Okay. Hello, welcome everyone. Greetings from London. And I'm Claudia Prischer. I'm an intuitive energy and theta healer. And I help my clients to identify the root cause of their challenges or limitations or limiting beliefs, however you want to call it. Because when we change how we think, we make different choices and create a different outcome in our lives.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Claudia. Over to you, Dr. Bigot. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Numsa. And good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you see this. Hello. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard people having New Year's resolution to change their habit such that they improve one part or maybe many part of their aspect? And have you ever heard people fail their New Year's resolution? Study shows that by February, more than 90% people fail their New Year's resolution. And at the same time, many times we know that it is something that might be beneficial. So we will share with you today on how to be able to change your lifestyle habits to improve your quality of life, and what is really the purpose of improving your quality of life. Because at the end of the day, why do you even want to do that? Do you even want to do that? And if you do, then listen on to us. I'm Birgit Tan, and I am a life success and grief transformation coach, and we're here to help you achieve and accomplish easily what it is that you would love, including if it is improving the quality of your life.
So much, Dr. Bigot. Over to you, Kamal. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Nomsa and Bigot and Claudia. Of course, now Bigot stole my line, which is good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I have to figure out something else. I hail to you from Norway, a very tiny town on the west coast of Norway called Måløy or Molloy. On the other hand, many people have that sensation of feeling stuck in a hamster wheel, constantly grinding and constantly running with no sense of direction, with a lack of fulfillment perhaps in the life that you belong into. You might even question what life is and what it means. Where is it going? Some people call it raison d'être, others ikigai, and others purpose or purposes. Now, on average, about 90% of people live their lives not questioning it, not going into depth and looking for growth into their lives, just dealing with the cards that they have been dealt with. But if you are a person that wants to explore what that means, what this life is, what purpose is, don't want to continue in that routine of running and grinding, and are searching for purpose, or, as the subject of today, a quality of life. It is all encompassed in Ma teaching, the ancient goddess of balance and harmony, life purpose, if you will. So with a combination of ancient Egyptian wisdom and neurolinguistic programming, I help you or others create a foundation to a life of harmony, balance, and purpose. My name is Kamal Amer, and I am a certified NLP trainer, master practitioner, hypnotherapist, and a life purpose specialist. Over to you, Nomsa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamal. So our topic today is how to improve your quality of life. So I'm going to hand it over to Claudia. Please, can you explain to our audience what the topic means? I think Kamal is kind of explained the topic with what he does, regarding what he does and stuff. So basically what he does, he helps people to improve their quality of life. So over to you, Claudia, if you would like to add more.
Yeah. First of all, I would like everyone to know and to understand that we are here, and universe or God, however you would like to call it, wants us actually as well to live the life we truly desire, and it wants us as well to create everything we would love to have too. So basically it's in regards to that we can co-create our lives as well. This is important to understand, that whatever it is we desire or we wish to have, we actually have the ability and the power to create it in our life. Obviously, we need to have to be in alignment with it. I'm sure many of us already know at this stage, you have to have the supporting beliefs or the thoughts and the right energies or the emotions, so that you can attract everything you desire in your life, so that you can have your create and up level as well your life exactly in the way you would love it to be.
So thank you so much, Claudia. You guys today are very quiet. You want me to keep talking? Dr. Biggett, over to you, please.
Yes, absolutely. I would say when we talk about quality of life, I actually would ask you, the audience, as you listen, what really is come to your mind, because it's something that's very different for everybody. Some people living a very simple life, and they find that, you know, this is just the life that I want. I want to get up every morning, and I want to go to work, have just enough such that I have enough for my roof, and go to the park and feed the birds, and then come back and have just enough to such that I'm not hungry. And that is perhaps quality of life for you. And if that is what you are comfortable and absolutely happy, that is absolutely, to me, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, if you're feeling as if there is something more for you, if you're feeling as if there is something calling you beyond what it is, and for some of us, you might already be a doctor, you might already be a very successful business person, and you say, yes, I have the money in the bank, and 3 houses, and 5 cars, and so forth. And then something in you still saying, but something's still calling me. So what is it? What is it that's still wake me up with a whisper in the middle of the night? And that's when you want to listen. And you want to listen and say, so what is it? And perhaps after all the material things, all the degree or the achievement or what have you, there's still something else waiting for you. And that's when you want to tune in and say, okay, let's allow the logic to take a break. We don't always want to drop our logic. But let's allow our logic to take just a quick break and just listen to that very oftentimes very quiet voice. What is it that calling you? Is there an endeavor in a non-profit perhaps? Perhaps you somewhere deep in you want to help somebody who are in needs. But hey, you know, common sense says you got to accumulate this. Or perhaps it's actually a passion that you have since you were a little child to actually paint, up to do painting. And common sense says, how are you gonna pay your bill and take care of your kids and your family and if you become a painter, look how many successful painter. You're better off go work in the office and climb that corporate ladder. And so if there is something in you that whisper to you, or there is you simply feel uncomfortable where you are living in this way, you like, I know something better is waiting for me, then what is it? Then this is exactly the best time to listen to that and continue listening to us. And what I saw you clapping at some point, Kamal, which is not always happen, so that is a good thing.
What I was clapping about you saying that everybody has their own definition about quality of life, right? Some of us might say that staying at home with their children and providing for the family, whether it's the mother or the father, that is how their quality of life is improved. Others say the corporate ladders, others painting, music, whatever it may be. Quality of life is defined differently. I like the expression of psychologist, he was the author of the book called Flow or Synchronicity. He's a Hungarian American person, and his psychologist. He's a Hungarian American psychologist, excuse me, and his name is Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And he says, control of consciousness determines the quality of life. And I absolutely love that quote from him for a simple reason. Because I work with NLP, because I have that program of purpose or Ma'at as a representation for my company, I truly believe that our quality of life is based on our thoughts. And simply that. Not how much we're earning, not where we live, not what we have materialistically, but what we consider on a conscious level through our mind. So coming back to all of those definitions that we differently have. When I speak about life purpose or purpose, we define it very differently, because purpose is not something that you can find. It's something that already exists within you. And we say, I say we because I was taught by my mentor, Steve McVeigh, and he says actually, we uncover purpose. Purpose is already there. Your quality of life, your definition of a quality of life already exists in your unconscious mind or subconscious mind, however you want to call it. However, you don't know how to live it. You don't know what are the steps to live it. You don't know what you want, what kind of quality of life. And you are distracted by the conditioning of society, conditioning of parents, the grinding of every day, going to work and back 9 to 5, and then the person that's waiting for you at home or not, and then the TV, and then the phone, and everything is a distraction. But is your quality of life what you want it to be? How do you determine that quality of life? What aspects of life do you want better quality of? And perhaps what you seek as quality of life is more quantity in an area of your life that you want to focus more on. So that quality of life is not only defined by quality, but it could be that this quality comes from a quantity that you are not providing yourself or that area. And in purpose, we call it focus areas. We have different areas of focus in our life, and each one has its own purpose. That's why I say purposes. So whether you decide your quality of life is a harmony and balance between all of those focus areas, or is in one area, that is completely up to you. However, it is still on your conscious level. If you control your conscious mind, you will absolutely know how you want your quality of life, and it will get better. I think that's my opinion so far, building on what Claudia and you were saying, Birgit. Nomsa, thoughts?
Okay, so I agree with you guys. For me, the quality of life, like Dr. Birgit was saying, we all have a different definition. For me, the quality of life basically is, for me, when I'm able to serve people around me. When I'm meaning saving is even if when I get up in the morning and go to work, I'm serving people. And when I'm receiving that money and I'm going to actually go to a restaurant, I eat my beautiful meal. And when I eat my beautiful meal, and then the waitress comes in and say, this is how much it's going to cost you. So yes, we are constantly serving each other, but without realizing. So for me, that is that quality of life, and being able, even at home, I'm serving my children, I'm serving everyone around me, I'm serving my family. That, to me, that is the quality of life, and being able to have that gratitude and appreciation of who I am as a person and where I come from, where God has brought me to where I am today. That is the quality of life, because not everyone gets that opportunity that I had in my life. So for me, is the quality of life is serving around. I'm serving God as well. And that is the most important thing. I didn't actually realize that actually we are constantly serving each other. And when I thought about it, the topic, I was like, actually, we always serving one another. Like here at Ngosi Talk Shows, we are here serving somebody. And when somebody calls you and say, Kamal, I need help, even though they are going to pay you, but you are still serving because you have that. You serve somebody from the bottom of your heart. You are listening to what they are going through, and you are making a decision, like to say, this is how I'm going to help this person. You're planning, is the strategy, how you are going to move forward in helping that person that needs help. And that is serving. And for me, that is having that quality. That, to me, that is the quality of life. That I can go to my grave and say, Esma, so I live my life. I know, Kamani, you have obligations.
No, I'm just thinking now, when you were describing this, you were describing as what you do and what you enjoy, but that quality of life, I still don't see a definition of what quality of life for you basically means. Serving others and helping others, is that quality of life?
Serving me and serving others. Material to me is no quality. When I work hard and having that and buying a huge house and enjoying that moment, to me that's not quality of life, because I can lose it. So to me, anything can happen. But the money, I can have it all, but that does not define my quality of life. It defines the energy that I'm putting out there. But when somebody comes to me and say, Nomsa, thank you, I'm relaxing, it gives me a great pleasure that this is the quality of life that I'm leading. So
okay, now I understand it. So your quality of life is based on how you can help people and let them and save them, however you want to call it, help them and provide your guidance. That's what you consider your quality of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do understand you as well, Nomsa, because you are living one of your purposes right now as well, by opening up as well the talk show and reaching out and connecting and sending out the message as well. And by doing this, you stepping into one of your purposes. Obviously, we have several in our life, and this gives you as well a meaning of satisfaction because on some level you have agreed to do this in your life as well, to come down here and to do the talk show. It's been already pre-planned, and when we decide to step into the next purpose, we can feel as well the satisfaction. It's an inner peace and gratitude. So I totally get you, absolutely. And well done on stepping as well and accepting as well the next purpose in your life, Nomsa, because it takes sometimes the soul is knocking on our door and we can sense a feeling that sometimes we are not happy in the current job or the relationship, and we feel a bit of a calling. It's time to move on to the next, but we are still afraid of changes and so on. So well done on you. Yeah.
Embrace the change. As long as I'm serving, I'm going for it. I was listening to one of the pastors. He was explaining how the quality of life works. He was saying 1 minute you could be having everything, and then the next thing things go wrong. And then sometimes maybe let's say you have a business, and then there's an odd job that comes available, and then you are like, me doing that. So, but then if you are somebody who is clever, you take that job, or you take whatever comes, and then maybe there's a purpose, there's a plan there. So he was explaining how this guy, I don't know, he became a billionaire just by, I don't know what he did. There was something like a odd job that he took, and then he took that job, and then he was discovered there, his talent, and then he became a billionaire. So it was like, if he was like somebody like who say, oh no, I can't do that, so he wouldn't have had that opportunity. So that's why I'm saying the quality of life is me serving, just going, doing whatever I love to do.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that because sometimes we have things going on in our life. I love when you mentions that because life is life, and sometimes we have things going on in our life, and we might see it as an adversity or even a large blow or a large loss, and if we and that's actually a wonderful opportunity. Yeah, it's even with this pandemic here, the coronavirus pandemic, where many people it affected practically everybody, and I know many people right now who lost their job that they have for a good long while, and then now they lost their job, and it's not like you can go next door and get another job because of the industry sometimes get wiped out or something at the moment. And it's actually allow people to say, okay, was I really even living that quality of life? Yet many people come to realizations that they were doing the daily grind and they were running the hamster wheel. You might be running the hamster wheel because it pays your bill, but was it really all it is? Was it all really all it is? And actually, I know one person who decided to listen to her callings. She said, "Well, I'm just gonna sit at home, and not that anybody can go anywhere anyway. So I'm just gonna start painting because that's the only thing I can do to suit myself, and that's what my heart called me to do." And within 4 months, she paints so well that she so people start buying her painting, and she loves painting. She loves yoga, so she started to learn to teach yoga online and doing painting, and then it's and she's. And it's actually like you said, I think Claudia, she be grateful for that, and she actually she's doing what better than she was working at the job that was not life giving to her. And so sometimes we have things going on in our life, and as you say, Numsa, you want to see it. Is there something happen? Is something happen because life is giving you an opportunity to take a step back and say, is this really what's quality of life, perhaps it could be a better harmony. Sometimes, like you said, Kamal, it's a matter of how much you do. And so it could be a better harmony, perhaps, instead of working 60, 70 hours a week and so forth. What about, is there a better harmony where you could, people say it's balance. Balance to me is a good balance is something that dynamic. So I call it harmony, where there is a harmony between your personal life, your work life, your health, your relationship, and so on and so forth, that you would be able to do it in such a way that is more, at the end of the day, it's more life-giving to you, even if it is, like you say, Nomsa, if it's, even when you make less money, if you are able to help, if that's what calls your heart, it's more life-giving to you. What is more life-giving to you?
And that's the whole idea, right, about purpose and quality of life. Again, we come back to the very beginning of that definition of quality of life. You can see, I've seen it with my own eyes, people living in shacks, but they have just bread to eat, and they have the most beautiful smiles and the most helpful and loving, and they just are full of love and enjoyment. And you ask them, how is your life? They say, I'm very grateful and I'm very happy how I am right now. And now then comes the question of how society defines quality of life, right? You have every year these statistics of these are the top 10 countries to have the best quality of life. But these are statistics based on numbers, right? They're based on employment levels. They're based on earning. They're based on what else? Wealth, education, recreation, balance between how much, for instance, parental leave you get, right, from work, the security level, right, mental health, physical health. These are all statistics based on tangible things. And in my personal opinion, quality of life is not based, like Nomsa was saying, on what you can hold or these tangible moments, right? You talk about health, comfort, and happiness. When the first thing that comes to mind when you think of quality of life are these three: health, comfort, and happiness. Health is tangible. Yes, it is a quality of life. Would you rather have, I don't know, would you rather be a billionaire but have cancer? Would you rather be a billionaire but not be able to walk? You know, in comparison, just as an example, which one would you rather have? What quality of life do you rather have, health or wealth? You see that always that question, like the question of, would you rather have wealth or power? Same concept. But here we're talking about health. We're talking about, what do you want to do with your health? Now, if you have health but you don't have wealth and you are happy, excellent. If you are content, excellent. If you know how to live your life every day, being grateful for what you have right now, for what you can give, like Nomsa was saying, helping, offering. Beckett, Claudia, and myself, we love helping people. And it's not about what we're earning materialistically behind it. It's more about what we can offer and how we can guide people into a better life for them, defined by them, not by us. So again, back to that whole concept. How do you define happiness? That is up to each and every one of us to put those dots on the I's, right? And decide, this is what I consider my happiness. When you're talking, Claudia, about the different purposes, about what Nomsa was having, right? One of her purposes in life is helping others. But what about your family purpose? What about your personal development purpose? What about your health purpose? What about your financial purpose, right? And all of these contribute to your quality of life. One of the easy ways for anybody to figure out, you can just find it online, there's plenty of them. A lot of coaches and speakers use the wheel of life, right? And you define these 8 areas that you want to work on. This is the same thing. These are very similar to the focus areas that we provide in life purpose. But these are defined by you, right? Relationship, health, career, personal development, leisure. And you need to define what you want for yourself, how you consider this to be quality, and how you consider this to be resourceful for you. So yeah, that's I think that's where I'm going so far. Now I'll see what Nimsa has to say, because then I have different ideas to share, obviously.
I love how you say that a lot of things are statistic, and sometimes we are very easy to fall into that, because a lot of times we are thinking, unless you are very much in personal development study, where you know to, Emerson says, Ralph Waldo Emerson says, stand guard at the portal of your mind. So you're not letting every other things that every other people says. Otherwise, if you are accustomed to simply reading the magazine, that's at least here in the United States on every checkout stands, and then even if you are on social media, you're looking at Facebook and the person saying, I'm doing this certification in the Ritz-Carlton and doing that. And you want to really identify what it is that's good for you. It's very easy to say, oh, I want that too. Oh, I want that too. Well, I live here in the US. I live actually very close to Malibu. Where many people heard about Malibu, and Malibu is the beach community, very affluent and all these things. And I'm also actually fairly close to Beverly Hills with all the movie actor and all the money and everything. And let me just tell you, if you want to talk about stress level, being in the entertainment industry, living in Beverly Hills, hello, you can just pick a stone and throw it anywhere in Beverly Hills, you probably hit a stressful household. So what is your quality of life? And now, if you discovered what it is that you would love, that now that you actually learn to isolate you versus the society, then the next step to me, if you discovered that, then is to actually to allow to listen to yourself, to know what it is to do that. And then you do want to, it's very easy to be influenced by a lot of different things, but then that's when if you don't know how to make the shift, that's when you want to allow yourself some support. Because if you're not already doing it, and you discover that this is something that you're yearning for, and you don't have a clear idea, have a clear plan. I'm reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich here, and he says in the number one key in accomplishing what it is that you would love in a timely manner, not in the next lifetime, is to have an organized planning. And if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what to do next, now that you discover what it is that you would really love, that's life giving to you, and perhaps to me is to, how about if you consider allowing yourself some support from these programs, from and from coaches. So that's my thought in how you will be able to improve your quality of life, if that's something that you call. What about you, Claudia?
Well, yes, many of my clients actually have the limiting belief, I can't have it all, you know. They are the mother, they would love to open their own business, but then they feel guilty in regards to neglecting the kids or the husband, but still as well, they would love to be self-employed and to have their own business. So this is a very conflicting belief that they limit themselves because of this belief. And that's just a myth, because the truth is you can have it all. And this is why it's important as well at some stage to look at our own mindset and what are beliefs, the beliefs actually we personal have in regards to how we would like to live our dream life and to have the quality of life as well. So this is as well where the mindset and the beliefs come in, and we all have beliefs serving us and not serving us. So I'm actually wondering, Nomsa, how are you doing it? You're a mom, you have your own business. How do you do it all? You know, yeah? And we can't hear you.
First of all, it's very, very easy, but before it used to be really, really hard for me to cope with everything. First, I had to learn to get rid of stress. to get rid of expectations. If things don't go my way, and stop stressing. And I had to train my children. Like that, right now, my children are in the house. They're very quiet. So even when I'm not busy, they have to find something to entertain themselves. So I train my children to do the things that I do. Going for play days, they arrange them. I just have to do the final say with the parents to say, yes, you can do this, is fine. But they do that, I train them. And also is when you want to do something, you'll find time. There are some things that I did before that they were not necessary. So I got rid of it, like watching TV. I got rid of watching TV. I got rid of doing some other things that are not necessary and hanging out with people that were not contributing anything in my life. So I had to really, really think this through and say, if I'm going to give my time for somebody, it's got to be something that benefits my life and benefits their life. So I can give you my time and come and see you, say hello, I love you, but it's got to be my time, like Gary's time is worth it. He chooses who he wants to bless because those people, they are willing to accept his blessings. So I hang out with people that are willing to accept my heart, to accept me for who I am. And I do the work and help those who wants me to help them, who are ready for me to help them. And also, I love what I do. I basically love what I do. And I love serving people. That's why I used to complain. I never used to be like this. If you had met me 10 years ago, I'll get up in the morning, I'll be mourning, I'll be saying, oh, I'm tired, I'm this. But now I think I meditate too much. Too much meditation, it drowns you. You will have no soul left. You'll be living in spirit. So that's how I do things. Too much meditation. Kamau knows he works with the mindset. So by hypnotizing people, yeah, too much meditation, it does help because it helps you basically appreciate things in life. It helps you go for what you want. When you want to do something, like I read audios, I think per day I spend 2 hours listening to audios. My mind, I think, is trained now. Even when I'm doing something, I'm listening to personal development audios. So it helps me with my weaknesses and my strength. And Dr. Bigot is my actually my accountability partner. So it helps me to do everything. And the coronavirus, I'm living in a big house. So I've looked at it and I was like, why am I complaining with finances? I'm living in a huge house. I don't even really need this place. So I'm downgrading. I'm going to go back later. So I don't have time for stress anymore.
I love I don't have time for stress anymore. That is absolutely beautiful. It's fantastic. And I would say too much meditation, that's not very good for you. Too much of anything isn't good for you. That's why I say harmony and balance, and that's why the use of balance here is very important, is knowing when not to exceed anything or when not to give too little of it. But I love that part about meditation and that I don't have time for stress. That's wonderful. I mean, if everybody can have that mentality of saying, you know what, I don't have time to stress out, and just say, you know what, you stress me out, man or girl, get out of my life. I mean, it would be so easy. Unfortunately, it is not that simple sometimes because we have these people in our life. They don't stress us out because that's a behavior that we allow ourselves to fall into. However, they are there in our life to teach us either to manage our life, our behavior, our stress, whatever it may be. And so we still need them because we haven't learned that lesson. But the fact that you can say, you know what, I don't have time to stress. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do my meditation. I'm going to do the baking or whatever it is that you want to do. It's kind of the same mindset that I take when I have my kids, right? A lot of parents stress when they're single parents. They stress about What am I going to do? How am I going to entertain them? Kids have entertainment in their mind forever. I mean, you can just tell them, you know what? Play. Do what you need to do, unless you're like Nomsa and you have one of those tasing collars on her kids, which I doubt. But you train. Okay, let me put it this way. I was having that discussion with my mother yesterday. People can get offended, and I really do not care. We are animals. So we train our children. I'm brought up with animals, right? With dogs, especially. The way you train a dog is very similar to the way you train your children, in a sense that you have to train everything. You have to train them how to sit, how to poop, how to pee, and where to do it, when to sleep, when not to sleep, when to bark and not to bark, when to jump on the couch and when not to jump on the couch. And the same applies to your children. So I'm not saying I treat my children like dogs, but I do. When it comes to upbringing, the only difference is that they learn about NLP, so which is a little bit more advanced. Now, why I mentioned that is because this decides, again, the quality of life that you are going to be living in. Are you going to be one of these people that stresses about what to plan, how to make people happy, how to what you're going to cook for the rest of the week, and you have constant headaches because you want to please everybody? Or are you going to decide to take a step back, take a breather, and see what you can do to please yourself in order for you to have more time to offer that love and care to the rest of the people around you, to offer that love and care to those focus areas in your life that you want to dedicate time for? Painting and yoga, like Bigot's friend. You decided to say, you were saying baking at the end. I love baking, by the way. And yes, I'm a guy, I bake for my kids. We don't buy bread. We make the bread at home here, right? Do you want to dedicate your time into helping others heal? Claudia, with the Theta healing. What is it that you want to dedicate your time doing? That is the quality of life that you will create in your life based on your decisions. That's why I'm saying it's a conscious decision to make. But you need to decide for yourself. And these are the steps, like Brigitte was talking. Yeah, what did you wanted to jump in? What did you want to say?
I love how you said you got to train everything. train like I got disconnected briefly, and when I got back on, the one thing I caught was Kamal saying Kamal, that you got to train everybody like you train your dog and you train your kids. It's kind of funny to me. And this is the hilarious things. My background is in veterinary on medicine. I was a board certified veterinarian oncologist, and it is very interesting to see that with some families, you can actually see that some families you have everybody very well trained. The kids and the pets and everyone. You're like, oh, well behaving kid and the very very well behaving pets, and then some. Everybody running around everywhere. You have the dog that just don't follow order, and the kids running around screaming around the hospital. It's like very interesting. Somebody don't know how to train. But talking about training, at the end of the day, the 1%, before you try even to train out there, if change is something that you are endeavoring, the first and very most important person to train is actually you, because everything starts in us and everything starts in your mind. But, as Napoleon Hill says, you have absolute control. You have absolute control of but one thing, and that is your thoughts. And so if what you would love to change, if you say, well, this is not going on here and not the way I love it, and so forth, then where is your thoughts going? Are your thoughts directed of, okay, I'm going to create changes? And what about if those are things that you cannot change? The fact is there is a pandemic. or was, depend on how you see it. The fact is, at some point, there is, and some places still have closed down. The fact is, if you live here in California, Los Angeles area, we open back up, and then now they're like, hello, everybody mask up, but put your mask back up because the numbers just increased in so magnificently with the Delta variants, whatever. Are you going to see this as a doomsday? And whatever else is going on in your life, are you going to see this as a huge impossible obstacles, as Claudia said? Oh, this is impossible. How could I possibly be doing this? And then this is impossible. Or and are you going to see everything and perceive everything as depressing, as there is no hope, as it is absolutely difficult? Or is it simply an opportunity that, okay, well, now that there is something calling you, that it's an opportunity for you to expand, that yes, there was closed down, or there is lockdown in where, depend on where you are, but what if this is actually an opportunity to shift, and you want to train your mind, to train your noticing your thoughts. My mentor, Mary Morrissey, has this term, notice what you're noticing. Notice from every moment. What are you thinking? Are you thinking, oh, this is wonderful and there are possibilities, and yes, you will be able to improve your quality of life? Or are you thinking, yeah, well, I want things to change and I want to have support, but I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the what have you. And because if that's what you decide, then as we know, what's in your minds usually come true. In here, actually Thomas Edison's that says, what your mind can perceive, can conceive and believe, that will be your reality. So yeah, we want to train you. We want to notice what you're training yourself and your thoughts.
And exactly right. Training yourself is the most crucial. I'm going to jump in just very quickly because I have to leave very soon. I have something at 3 o'clock, so I have to be a little bit early. But today, for some reason, the only person and quote person that comes to my mind is Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the Hungarian psychologist. Probably because I was reading his book earlier. But and when you speak about quality of life, you cannot stop to think about your flow of life, or the synchronicity of life and what you are thinking about. See, everything synchronizes. Life itself synchronizes with you based on your thoughts, on your wants, not your needs, your wants, and how much you partake in that exploration and dedication to your life. So if you dedicate to your life, to your quality of life, more of that quality will come into it based on what you deliver. And it's not the what's it called, The Secret and the Law of Attraction. I'm talking about synchronicity here. Very different. Life synchronizes the way it is meant to be for every aspect of your life. There's everything is synchronized. The moment that you are in a dump and you continuously think of that dump, it is where you stay, because life synchronizes around that energy. We're talking energies here, okay? Whether you believe them or not, everything has energy. And so that synchronicity changes the moment that you decide to change and work on yourself. You put yourself out there and you look and you try and you, not try, but you do the things that are necessary. And you might feel that you're not getting anywhere, but at that last minute, you still do it again and again and again, and you will see that that door will soon be ajar. And that moment that the door is ajar, it gives you the power to just open it up clear and go through that door. And then life synchronizes again more and more and more. So I will leave the audience and you guys today with one last quote from Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And the quote today is, it might be true that it is quality time that counts, but after a certain point, quantity has a bearing on quality. So think about it. And Until I see you next time, I have to run, guys. Thank you for today and lots of love.
Hi, Kamal.
Thank you, Kamal. Yes, I agree with Kamal. It's about choices, you know? Yeah. It's about choices, because when we find ourselves in a situation or in a time of our lives and we are not very satisfied or happy with it, and we acknowledge it as well, we have the power to change it. Yeah. So the power is in us as well, and we can change our circumstances outside as well in regards to putting actions into it, inspired action. So we can change the situation to create again more quality of life. So rather than focusing on the challenge, I don't like to use the word problem, I prefer challenge. We focus on the solution so that we can get back or more quality of life in choices. Oh, we can't hear you, Namsa.
Okay, I am. Would you like to add anything, Dr. Bigot, to what Claudia has just said?
Yeah, I would say I love what Claudia says, and also back to just a final message. It is at the end of the day, whenever things going on, sometimes quality of life is a matter of also navigating day-to-day things, not necessarily because you have an aspirations. And it is how you see things. And do you see it as a challenge? Do you see it as a mystery? Or do you see it as an opportunity? Something I mentioned before, the Mandarin character, the Chinese character for crisis, is composed of two characters. The first part means danger, the first character, and the second part of that is opportunity. And so if you say, well, I'm just trying to navigate the day-to-day life, I'm trying to, as Kamal says, to balance things and so forth. Well, are you seeing this as problems, or do you see this actually as an opportunity for you to be able to redirect and regroup and find a way towards something that is much more life-giving to you? And so stand guard, as Emerson say, at the portal of your mind, and know what you would love, not, and what you would really, really love, and then take the next step. Allow some support, allow yourself some studies, and you will, regardless of what it is, you will be able to live with it wonderfully.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. I actually agree with you. You basically have to allow yourself to live that life that you want, and if you don't have that quality of life, you can actually improve it. And it's not easy to do, but as long as you train yourself to actually be disciplined and make decisions, and your expectations, if your expectations are not met, instead of you giving up your life, just keep going, because I think that is the beauty about life. Life is a process. We are learning from those problems that we face along the way. So I think that's how life it should be. You should be able to basically, um, if your marriage is not working, if your work, if things are not going well at work, you should be able to say, I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to change what's not working. So you should be able to do that. So if anyone that is watching, if your life is not working how you should be, you feel that you don't have that quality of life that you desire. So I would say just go for it by taking baby steps. Some people, they look at other people's life, they're like, look at them where they are. Why am I not there? But you don't know the story behind it. So my story basically is very simple. I face challenges in life and I keep going. I don't give up. I'm not a friends of people that tell me to give up. I'm a friends with people that tell me get up. If I complain, they say, okay, get up now and keep going. And I'm friends with those people that push me to become who I want to become. Over to you, Claudia. Have you had your final words?
I thought I actually just said them, but again, like, okay, something final in regards to gratitude. Okay, yeah, it always comes handy and it's always important as well in this case. Okay, it's just like focus on the things you are grateful for in your life. Focus on them, yeah, and it's just like you'll be surprised as well how they can actually, you know, add up the things you are grateful for in your life. Absolutely grateful, because yes, the more grateful you are, the more the universe is giving to you more things to be grateful for.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Claudia. For those who will be watching us later and those who are watching us, thank you so much. And we are here at Ngozi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. So please, if you're watching this message later, press some love button and share some love. Press some heart button and share some love with your loved ones. God bless you, everyone. Live with grace.